Okay, this video is going to be about taking care of your mats. This is the standard mat, and I use this pretty much exclusively for any cutting. There is a low-tack mat, but I've found that I don't even use it. If you're cutting fabric, you may end up using that more. What you want to do for daily maintenance of your mats is find some non-alcohol and fragrance-free baby wipes. And these are just some I got at Target or Rite Aid. They're cheap, and that's all you need. I use them for my stamping as well. And so every day you want to, or actually every time you do a project, you want to come over and really give it a good rub with, and you can see, I think you can see all that. There's all kinds of guck coming off, and you want to continue to work on your mats. And what happens is the fibers and your papers will adhere to your mat, and that's what you're wanting to loosen up and get rid of. Now, some people recommend using spray adhesives to, if your mats start to be less sticky. I tried one. In fact, it was the one that Meisner sewing machine locally recommended, and it ruined my mat. I had to throw that mat out. There was nothing on it. It got all gucky, and then all that adhesive would come off on my projects, and then I was left with a mat with no stick whatsoever. So what I ended up doing was throwing that one away. And what I have found is if my mat gets to be where it's not sticky enough at all, I'll show you what I do. So as you can see, I'm still getting a lot of guck off of here. So I was working on several projects, in fact, some of them for you guys. So my mat really got dirty. So after you've done wiping it with the baby wipes, you'll want to let it dry, and then you'll put your cover sheet back on it. If you are doing anything to re-stick your mat, you want to make sure that these little dots up here never get covered with anything. Those are the registration marks. The Scan and Cut has to see all of those in order to get your scans to work. And then if you can see, I'll come in real close here. I'll bring my mat up real close. See these little cuts here? Those are fine. What those are is when your machine is starting to do its cut, it will place the blade in the proper position it wants to start in. And that's how it does that, is going up there and cutting into your mat to place the blade exactly the way it wants it. So if your mat is where it ends up not being very sticky, and this one's getting to be at that point, it's still a little damp, but as you can see there, it's still pretty sticky right along the edge. But here in the center, it's not very sticky at all. This is a two-way glue pen, and this is the jumbo one, and it's got a very large cap area. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this and just lay down a layer of the glue like this across your entire mat. And you don't want it to go on too thick. The blue, what I like about that is you could tell that your mat is getting some glue on it by seeing that blue. And you'll let this sit for 24 hours. No, it doesn't take 24 hours to actually dry, but it's guaranteed to be completely dry within that amount of time. You want to keep the glue away from the ruler area around the outside edge. So just do the center. You usually are not putting something right up to the edge, so you're usually fine if you at least get within a 1/4 inch of the edge. And you'll just continue to go around and glue your entire mat. You will cut into them. You can see in mine that I've got cuts. You can see this one here is a pretty deep cut. You don't want to cut that much. In fact, that was during a class. And you can see on the back here where those are. The recommended class settings were too deep for my machine. So, you know, if you do cut through your mat, that's okay. You don't have to throw it away. Just take some shipping tape and place that over the back side of your mat on the back and just keep using it. And you'll be fine. Now that mat that I said I threw away, I didn't know about this this technique for making them stick. And so I threw that one away not knowing that I could have done this technique. Now when this first comes back out again, it's going to be extremely tacky starting tomorrow. So what I will do is just touch it with some fabric like a t-shirt and just take away a little bit of the tackiness. And then I can clean it maybe 4, 5, 6 times with baby wipes. You know, it lasts a couple of weeks and then I just have to come back and do the glue again. So that's my video on the care of your mats.